It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I'm your host, Braylon Edwards. Ryan Ermanni won't be with us today, but guess who is? It's the main man, Maz.
Hey, guys. What's up, Brent?
Tom Mazaway, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys, I can't play on the chat today. If you want to get a hold of us, give us a call on the show. We're opening the phone lines for you today. How about that, Brent?
You got the phone lines open
today? Phone lines are open.
Hey,
313-552-6322. You guys want to call? If anyone's getting on the bus right now with Jim Harbaugh and the guys heading down to Penn State, heading up to Penn State, that is. Well, I guess, is that down, I guess? Or,
it would be
down.
Yeah, it's slightly down.
To the Nittany Mountains.
Yeah, slightly.
Jim Harbaugh, well, from we understand, is on the bus.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh boarded the bus with the University of Michigan Wolverines this afternoon, headed to Happy Valley. We know that as well. So the speculation behind that is that there will not be a sentence before the Penn State game, so maybe this coming week. You know, they keep saying that, you know, the sentence is coming. The sentence is coming. No one knows when it is, but I'm pretty sure, Tom Mazaway, if you let the head coach board the bus, board the plane, and take off and go to the city in which you're going to play your Saturday game, pretty safe to say that it's probably going to be no suspension for Jim Harbaugh this week at least.
Well, the rumor all day was, and we can put that tweet up for you.
Yeah, I love that word, rumor.
The Big Ten was going to come down heavy and hard on Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. Possibly, they said, a 3-game suspension. I don't know where they pulled that out of, but they did. But the kicker is here. He is on the bus. And let me ask you this. If you're the Big Ten commissioner, what's your top team in your league? What's your marquee team?
It's the University of Michigan Wolverines.
Okay, why are you going to crap on them like this? Why are you going to send them to Penn State with a sour taste in their mouth like this? This is, if you're going to suspend them or at least pass down a judgment, do it at the beginning of the freaking week.
Yeah.
Don't do it the day before the game or the day of the game. The Big Ten looks so stupid right now. It's almost embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah, the Big Ten definitely looks very incompetent right now. It's making the rest of the conference look incompetent right now. And then it's just following the footsteps of the NCAA. All this stems from the NCAA. The NCAA is incompetent. The NCAA has been incompetent. That's why they lost power. That's why NIL comes in place. No one's paying any NIL. No one's playing NCAA any type of attention. So now they jump on with the Michigan Wolverines, or they jump on with the Big Ten Conference, and they're trying to put the pressure on Tony Petitti to handle the situation himself. And then he's getting pressure from Ohio State, Michigan rival, Rutgers, Michigan rival in the sense of Greg Schiano, et cetera, et cetera. You get Walters. You're kind of forming this coalition. At the end of the day, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And you're even getting people like Paul Feinbaum of ESPN in on it. Today was very interesting, though. Paul Feinbaum and Heather Dinich have been leading the charge with the pitchforks and the fires on the sticks, talking about the University of Michigan as it relates to should be suspended, as shouldn't be allowed to play in the game. You got all this information. You go after them now. They should file it. They should make something happen. It's going to be interesting, though. Like, got Desmond Howard on the show, and did you see it this morning?
I did.
Did you get a chance to see it this morning?
I did. We have his comment. We could put that tweet up for you because we can't play his comments from ESPN, but you could see, and Desmond Howard basically he compared it to the SEC, Bray.
He did, and this is actually a different one. Parker, pull it. Yeah, there we go. This is exactly what happened early on today. Desmond Howard sitting on the desk with Heather Dinich, University of Indiana, and then Paul Feinbaum, who represents the SEC. This would never happen in the SEC. The commissioner would never let Vanderbilt and Kentucky and all these other universities say, hey, you need to punish Nick Saban and Alabama right now. He's absolutely correct. And you know, people always point to the fact that we say, but that's not what we're talking about right now. You guys got caught. It's about you. Well, we understand that. And part of being about us is due process. It's the rush to due process.
Yep.
Maz, you remember last year? And this is something that I think makes sense. And I think this is a fair comparison. Do you remember last year after Kansas won March Madness? They won the men's national championship. Bill Self. Kansas Jayhawks, they won the national championship 2022. Congratulations to those guys. What came out the very next day? That they were under indictment for 5 level 1 violations.
That's why he wasn't on the bench.
5 level 1 violations, and one of the violations was as egregious as players accepting payment for persuasion to go to the university, or to Kansas University. Do you know when those five infractions, if you will, or those 5 violations were passed out? 2019 is when it was introduced to the NCAA.
So it took 3 years, almost 4 years.
3.5 years. Yeah. And in that time, they were allowed to compete at the highest level, won the national championship 3 years later while still under investigation, and then you would end up finding out that nothing came of it. Right. It was completely dismissed. You know what that's called, Maz? Due process. And that's all that Michigan is asking. Right now, if you're mad at Michigan and you're saying they cheated and this, that, and the third, and they had counter stallions and all that, okay. We're not arguing that may be true. But it's due process. I think that's the big thing right now. Michigan wants a due process, and that was the purpose of the 10 lawmakers sending that letter, which apparently it worked because Jim Harbaugh's on that plane headed to Happy Valley.
Bill Self, by the way, got a lifetime contract this week from Kansas. So all things worked out for them. They won a championship. It's not tainted. We're looking at them as they were the best team. Yeah. They were the best team. They won the championship. We're not looking back and saying, oh, well, back in 2019, they paid 5 players to maybe come here and maybe talk some people into coming here.
Not talked about once.
No. It's a championship. That's it. We talked about Cam Newton's championship at Auburn.
Right.
Not once has anyone said that's a tainted Gus Malzahn and all that Auburn stuff. They won. Cam Newton became a great pro, went to the Super Bowl, MVP, the whole 9 yards. Superman. Michigan can move on from this. But what looks really bad is how bad they're being treated by their own conference, a conference that they hold on their back. Them at Ohio State hold this conference on their back. And for what they're doing, this is not like a death penalty freaking thing, what they're talking about. Every team, we know it now, guys, every team has a sign stealer. Yes, Jim Harbaugh knew Connor Stallions was his sign stealer. And how he got the signs, Jim Harbaugh didn't want to know that. And that's good. He didn't want to know how he did it. That's fine. He's on the sidelines. He's one of the best in the business at that time. Former Marine, whole 9 yards. He did it better than anybody else. The other teams got pissed off, and now everybody wants to hang Jim Harbaugh in effigy. They want him out. They want him not to coach Penn State, Maryland, in the Ohio State game. Let me ask you this, Bray. If, in fact, Harbaugh was suspended,
right,
do you still feel the confidence that they could run the table? Can they run the table without Jim Harbaugh on the sideline?
Can they run the table in terms of national championship? Or can
this year. Can they win the next 3 games without Harbs on the sidelines?
It would be extremely tough for them to beat Ohio State without Jim Harbaugh, but the good news is they will have Ohio State at home this year, so I think that they could beat Ohio State at home. It will still be a difficult game. I'm not taking anything away from missing your head coach, especially as good as the head coach is Jim Harbaugh. So it would be a tough one.
It would suck.
But I think
they did it earlier in the year against nobody.
That wasn't Ohio State.
I know.
They could beat Maryland for sure. They will beat Maryland. I think they could beat Ohio State as well because it's at home.
Yeah.
Now, once you get into the semifinals and into the playoffs, that would be a whole nother ballgame. But I want to get back to something you said. You were talking about the scandals or things that have happened in the past, the national championships that had cloud around them.
Correct. There's plenty of them.
How many national championships did Pete Carroll win in that era?
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
Does anybody talk about?
Well, they talk about him running to the NFL. That's it.
But is it tainted?
No.
Last time I heard, that's arguably the greatest dynasty in the modern era. Do they talk about University of Miami? And when they got put on sanctions, is their national championship that they won in 2001, is that tainted?
No.
Is Cam Newton's Auburn national championship, is that tainted in any way somehow? Like, they're not tainted when you win a championship, because you know what? And I heard this on ESPN earlier by Chris Canty. Shout out to my former teammate.
Oh yeah, he stood up.
Oh, he's just logical.
Yeah,
and that's the side that I pay attention to. It's not the Michigan guys that come on there like Desmond Howard, who absolutely destroyed them. But it's not Desmond. It's not Adam Schefter. Yeah. It's people like Dan Orlovsky. It's people like Chris Canty. They don't have a dog in the fight. Lou Riddick. They don't have a dog in the fight. They're not from Michigan, but they're standing up on the side of logic. Those weren't tainted. And if you get back to the question, they wouldn't be doing this at the SEC. So for everybody that's allowing Paul Feinbaum to gaslight them and point it at the TV and say, yeah, that guy's right, just know that every team that gets into the college football playoff is awarded $6 million that goes to their conference. That's not what the team gets. That's what the conference gets from that team. So $6 million from Georgia. Oh, if we can get another team, man, maybe like Alabama, who's sitting at a 1-loss, get those in. That's $12 million. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Paul Feinbaum is lobbying on behalf of trying to get Michigan out of there because he wants 2 SEC teams in there. So be careful who you side with.
Yeah.
Be careful who you're listening to information with when it's tainted or when it's potentially jaded.
Look, we don't have our eyes closed, guys.
Not at all.
We know.
We see what we see.
We know what happened, all right?
Yeah.
And if Connor Stallions did what he did, and we all think he did, it's speculative, but we all think he did, he just did it better than everybody else. Come on, guys. By holding a cell phone up and showing grainy footage to a coaching staff, you think that's more you think that's better for their game plan than Rutgers and Ohio State sitting down with the people at Purdue and telling them how to beat Michigan? Yeah. They have their offensive sides and their defensive sides. What's the better way of cheating? That's the better way. White-collar crime against smash and grab. That's what Dan Wetzel said.
Yeah.
They're both crimes. One is not worse than the other. And the rule will change.
It will.
The rule will change. And they're going to start wearing earpieces real soon.
100% the rule will change, and they'll find a way to get that equipment into the helmet, and they'll stop coming up with the excuse that is, well, you know, we feel like with the information. Nah, they'll come up with the reason. They'll be able to do that. But it was interesting when they were just talking about Connor Stallions, when it was talking about the information, Michigan cheating, et cetera, sign stealing. Then it was a cause. We were paying attention. We were watching. We were saying, wow, if Jim Harbaugh knows about this, then, you know, that's going to spell some problems and spell some issues. And he still will, if he knew. We don't believe he did, but if he knows, it still will spell issues and it spells problems. But I think the bigger thing is just looking at it and as if it will spell problems and what we're looking at now. Once they start trying to add, well, how far back does it go? And, you know, how good is Michigan really? And then that's when it starts to be another problem, when you're discrediting how hard those guys work, when you're discrediting all the draft picks that Michigan has had in the past 3 years, when you're discrediting the games and what they did, their stats, what they were allowed to do while they were at the University of Michigan. Guys like Aiden Hutchinson, guys like David Ojabo, you know, guys like Jabril Peppers, guys like Jake Butt. When you start to discredit the whole thing, then it calls for another problem.
I know.
It causes for another problem.
I'm just fed up with it.
Yeah,
I can't even keep up with it anymore. Everything I read, it sounds like it's the same thing. I can't decipher it. I can't decipher anything anymore.
Well, I got a question for you guys. So you know how we talked about the rumor that Jim Harbaugh would get a potential 3-game suspension before he left for Penn State. He's already gone. He's already on his way. What do you think the chances are at this point that Jim Harbaugh will be suspended this year?
Hold on before you answer that, Mass. Hold on before you. The chances of Jim Harbaugh being suspended this year, so before the college football playoff, the Big Ten championship,
before the end of the year.
Okay, that's a good question. How about we think about it?
Sure.
How about we go to commercial? How about we talk about Dispo Romeo, and then we'll answer the question when we get back. That's right, your local plug, Dispo Romeo, open till midnight. Michigan's largest cannabis mall. 21 up you have to be, recreational only, but it is the best ways to consume your cannabis, whether it's oil, whether it's flower. They got exactly what you need. Edibles too. So bring yourself down on the Dispo Romeo, open till midnight. Enjoy yourself because they got a lot to choose from. Your local plug.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty at all? Probably like how Jim Harbaugh is going to be at the end of this year. That is exactly what Mark White is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. You can go call them right now at 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. MarkWhiteSells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Welcome back to segment 2. Ermanni and Edwards. Ryan Ermanni will not be with us, but Maz is. We will see you on Monday, sir. Good day to you. JB in the booth, we like to say hello to you, as well as Parker, who asked that question and had that wonderful joke 2 seconds ago. To answer your question, this is what I think is going to happen. I think that he will be suspended next week for the Maryland game. I think this will come down maybe as soon as Sunday night so that they give them time to prepare the week without Jim Harbaugh. I think they will, and this is why. I think if you're Tony Petitti, okay, I'm just looking at it. What would I do? I wouldn't suspend. I will wait and let due process take its place. But let me put myself in Tony Petitti's shoes. I'm getting pressured by the worthless NCAA who's doing nothing and putting everything on me to make a decision, which is technically what they're supposed to be doing. I'm getting hit-ups from Ohio State every 2 hours, every 2 minutes, Penn State, Rutgers, Maryland, all these schools around the Big Ten who want me to do something. I'm watching TV. I'm seeing what guys are saying. I'm watching ESPN. I'm watching Fox. Fox is the happiest people, period, because regardless of what happens, they get to see Michigan and Ohio State in 3 weeks. So you know they want this drama to keep going.
And they got Penn State tomorrow.
100%. Yeah. So they want it all to happen. I say, you know what? I want to do something to shut people up, because if he doesn't do anything, it won't shut people up. But at the same time, I don't want to piss Michigan off either. I want them to get just process or due process. Suspend Harbaugh against Maryland. Do it Sunday. Get it over. This is what I think is going to happen, not what I think should happen. I think they will suspend him Sunday for the Maryland game. He'll miss that game. Nothing else will happen because of it. Harbaugh will play out the rest of the season, starting with the Ohio State, and they'll move on in the NFL, or excuse me, and NCAA won't find anything. I think the Big Ten will be done with this situation, and eventually they will change the policies as it relates to what you cannot do ahead of time in scouting, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't think the Big Ten will be happy with that, Bray. But I think they want blood.
But it's something.
I know.
And if you're Tony Petitti, if you do that, at least you did something. You can argue about it was Maryland and blah, 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 but you still suspend him. Whenever you suspend a coach for something, no matter what the infraction is, it still looks bad on the resume. Even the cheeseburger thing.
This will be the second time then.
Well, so that's why it's a nothing burger. If you suspend him again, this will be twice in one season that Harbaugh has been suspended from games.
But they did it on their own. They kind of took it from the NCAA and punished themselves. Now that's not done yet. The NCAA, it might take 2 more years like they did with Bill Self. It might take time. I think what happens is, and I believe this, I don't think, even though what it said all day today, that the Big Ten was going to come down with a suspension. I think they will come down with a suspension, and I think Michigan will fight it, and he will not sit out any games this year.
Well, my thing is, didn't we just find out that Ohio State and Rutgers were also stealing signs from Michigan? Why aren't they getting the same treatment that Michigan is?
Because they didn't have the phone. This is what they want. They want the guy with the phone. That's what they want.
The thing is, everybody takes a video of a game.
But Parker, they don't have anybody else's way of cheating right now. Like, they don't know how Ohio State acquired Michigan's info. They don't know how Rutgers acquired Michigan's info. So for right now, they understand that they acquired it, they passed it, but they don't know how they acquired it. For all people know, they could have done it the old-fashioned way. They could have got it on the sideline. They could have got it in the stands during that particular game. So that's the problem. We know they did something, but at the end of the day, we don't have proof. Michigan right now, you have Connor Stallions on the Central Michigan sideline. You have the flight tickets. You have the projected flight tickets going to the Penn State game, going to the Michigan State game. So for what they have,
they got a paper trail.
It is about Michigan right now. I would be an idiot if I said it wouldn't. It is definitely about Michigan right now, but that's the thing. They're trying to prove that, and that's what we got to get on, and you need due process for that.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys, like I told the chat earlier, I don't have time to go back and forth with you. So we open the phone lines for you. 313-552-6322. We go to JB for our first caller of the day. JB, who's on the horn?
Yeah, so I will send you guys Harlan. He's on the line for you guys.
Hey, Harlan.
Welcome in, buddy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good,
Doing
bud.
good,
What do you
doing
got
good.
for us?
State your piece.
This whole Michigan thing, I think it is ludicrous. But what if they did not suspend Jim Harbaugh and just suspend him for a full season next year?
A full season?
Or half?
I don't think that would ever happen. I can't see that. That's almost like a death penalty. Why would Jim even want to stay at that point?
And that would be the thing. So this is a good question by Harlan. If you suspend him next year, or if you wait, you lobby, you do due process, and then you find, hey, this is what's going on, we're going to suspend you. If Jim Harbaugh goes, and Harlan, we appreciate your call on that. If you suspend Jim Harbaugh next season and he leaves and goes to the NFL, do those suspensions now carry down to whoever takes over?
Yeah,
because that
probably not, because they want him.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the reasons why everybody's trying to get this right. And it's a great question by Harlan. I'm glad he called in and asked. It's a great question because that's what everybody wants. They want Jim Harbaugh, and they know if they wait until after the season. That's the big thing for, I believe, the Paul Feinbaums of the world, for the NCAAs, or for everybody trying to get him, is he can just leave and go to the NFL.
Right. They want him now. They want to embarrass him. They do.
Yeah.
They want to embarrass him. Tony Petitti, Michigan and Ohio State. It's the Big Two and the Little 12. Am I correct? It's the Big Two and the Little 12.
It's always been that way. It's always been that way.
Protect your brands, man.
Yeah.
Don't fall. Don't fall for the little guys screaming in the background. The Brett Bielema's, the Greg Schianos, the Ryan Days.
I love the people that say, I'm not going to say anything and say anything. Like Brett Bielema started off the conversation. He was like, I just love the fact that I'm not a part of this, and usually I don't talk. But wait, let me say something and let you know how I feel.
Yeah.
So the only thing that really kind of scares me about this match, if I'm being honest, the situation doesn't really scare me, but there's a small piece where Tony Petitti isn't a Big Ten guy. Tony Petitti isn't a football guy.
He's a Harvard guy.
He's a Harvard guy whose majors are in finance and economics. So my thing is, he's a money's guy. So it bothers me to the extent that he's not a Big Ten guy and he doesn't understand the Big Ten, the whole picture. But at the same time, he is an economics and money guy, which means he understands bread. He understands the chicken, as Marshawn Lynch would say.
Well, if that's the case, get the hell off of Michigan's back for this year. Just say we're gonna do due process. We're gonna look at everything.
Yeah.
We're not gonna leave any stone unturned. We're gonna get this right. Let the teams play this year out. All right, Connor Stallions has resigned. He's gone. He's off the team. Michigan is winning their games by 30-plus points a game.
Yeah.
Let's see how the next 3 games play out.
JB, we got another caller?
Yes, we do. I will send you guys Marvin.
Marvin, talk to us, man. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. How you doing?
Hey, Marvin.
Hey, man, how y'all doing today?
Good, man. Thanks for the call.
Appreciate the call.
I appreciate you guys today, man. Hey, Braylon, man. Come on, bro. You should be very disappointed in your university right now, man. This doesn't just have the chance to affect Michigan. All the blue bloods are going to get called into question off of this. This has the chance to undermine the reputation of college football as a whole. And we both know, had this been an Arizona State or Oklahoma State, death penalty would be no problem. But because too many lawyers and judges come from that side of the area, now we're going to kind of massage it. It's not a big deal. But I need y'all to recognize this. What about the kids that got cheated? What about the kids on the other side of the field who lost positions? Coaches that lost jobs? This is a lot bigger than whether or not this gave them an advantage.
I'm sorry.
This is about the integrity of the game.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it definitely is about the integrity of the game. You won't have any argument from me there. What coaches and players, where are we talking about?
I'm talking about the coaches and players who Michigan dogged out for the past 2 years. I'm talking about those guys.
So your understanding is that they got inside information, so that's why they were able to destroy Rutgers and Purdue and Maryland and Indiana and all these other schools.
No, I don't believe technically. I do believe that Michigan is vastly more talented than those players.
Right.
But then it calls into question, if you're so much talented than those other players, then why do it? if you've already got all the advantage on the field, then why is this even an issue? Especially when you know the repercussions that could come from something like this. It just seems to me that the reward risk, they had to have been getting something substantial out of this. In order to send guys into other teams' coaching staffs undercover, you couldn't put what happened in Michigan in a Hollywood movie. People wouldn't believe it.
Right.
I
understand what you're saying, and you're playing the word I can't even think about it right now. I understand what you're saying, but I just push back with the same point that coaches got fired. Coaches got fired because programs suck. Players got cheated.
True.
Michigan players worked hard. You telling me Aiden Hutchinson, who would have been number 1 overall if Urban Meyer wasn't the head coach of Jacksonville, him playing against those teams, it was some advanced scouting that he received that had him dominate Ohio State. This is Ohio State we're talking about. Like David Ojabo having 2 sacks against Ohio State, it's because he got some type of advanced scouting. Hassan Haskins, 5 touchdowns rushing because they outmanned Ohio State, because they've been outmanning James Franklin, who doesn't know how to coach in big game moments. I understand that they may have gotten an advantage, and you know what? If they prove that, and if you see Connor Stalions and Jim Harbaugh admits to having known something about that, I understand. Everybody's getting some type of advantage. Michigan's got exposed, just like Ohio State and Rutgers is about to get exposed. So if you want to punish Harbaugh for that and suspend him a couple games, I'm all cool with that. I'm fine with that because it's a part of the game. And if he broke the rules, he broke the rules, and that's what we understand. But don't sit here and tell me that coaches and players of other institutions, we cheated them. Nobody cheated those guys. We were just better than those guys. That's all.
Better than TCU?
You said what?
Well, TCU won.
What about the TCU game? What about the? Do you think?
So what are we talking about?
Do you think?
What are we talking about? TCU beat us. We weren't better.
Yeah, and why is that? And why do you think that be? Could that be because some of the coaches notified them ahead of time and gave y'all fake dummy signals?
Could it be because the players fumbled on the 1 yard line? It was a football game. Things happen in that football game. Fumbles at the 1 yard line, interceptions inside the 3 yard line. Things happen, and they lost that game because they didn't come to play that day. They didn't come to play 4 quarters, and TCU exposed them for it. But Michigan had every opportunity to win that game. Had nothing to do with TCU having signs. And let me answer that question for you. If TCU had signs, if TCU knew Michigan was doing that, then why didn't TCU say something ahead of time? Why didn't TCU say something right after time? Why did TCU wait till Greg Schiano, who used to coach at Ohio State, came out and said something? Then Ohio State said something. Now TCU wants to come out and say something. If TCU would have said...
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
I can answer that. The same reason why Greg McElroy is holding y'all water on ESPN. Because I believe this proverb... Michigan acting like it's not a big deal because
as it relates to what? Greg McElroy is one to talk because I know what went on in Alabama when he was there because I was a player on his team with the New York Jets.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say, though.
Give you information.
No, what I was about to say was the fact that
we appreciate you calling. We can't keep talking on and on. I don't want to talk for 2 hours with one person.
Marv's pretty
How many people on the call? Marv's good.
Marv, you sound like a friend of mine named Jason. Are you sure you're not Jason?
No, it doesn't sound like Jason to me.
Yeah,
doesn't sound like Jason.
Sounds like my buddy Jason.
Marv brought up some interesting points. But at the end of the day,
listen.
What?
The TCU game.
The TCU
game. If Sonny Dykes had those signs, if he did, why would he say anything? Because he wants to trick Michigan into thinking, no, we know you're cheating, but we're not going to tell you we know you're cheating.
Right.
And they played a great game. They were a terrific team coming in to that game. And they won that game. And Michigan missed a lot of tackles, like you said, a lot of turnovers, stupid calls, dumb plays.
He fumbled on the one.
I get it.
You get the dumbest play call ever.
I get it.
That was 3 separate goal line stands.
I know, it was a terrible game.
It was awful.
It was a killer game to watch. One of the better games of the year. But we wound up on the wrong side.
Hey, look, TCU, like I said, I don't make any excuses. I said it then. TCU kicked their ass. I said it when they lost. I've said it today. They kicked their ass. But don't come in here with, what happened when we played TCU? Michigan had a fumble on the 1. Michigan had a 4-and-out on the freaking 1, or goal line stand on the 1, and threw 2 pick sixes. Don't come at me with that.
Well, hey, guys, thanks for the calls. Calls are open all day long. 313-552-6322. Got to take a quick break here. Matt Broder coming up. After the break, we'll talk a little Lions with you. Then we'll get back into this. Phone lines are open, my friend.
First, a
Keep it
message
right
from
here.
Lady Jane.
Lady Jane's.
Planet Fitness.
Oh, Planet Fitness.
Because Planet Fitness is your
Doesn't say
home
Planet
of the
Fitness on the sheet.
judgment-free zone. Oh, judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just for $10 a month with no commitment. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness nearby, so visit your local Planet Fitness today to join or check them out online today at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, when it comes to your pet, don't settle for less. Give your pet the best. Give them Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, and curbside delivery if you need that as well. Give your pet the best. Check them out at premierpetsupply.com.
Welcome back, Ermanni and Edwards. It's a time of the week where we bring in Matt Broder, one of Woodward Sports' finest, and he also happens to be the Lions beat reporter. Matt Broder, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Tom, Braylon, Parker, JB, how's it going today?
Going good, man. We opened up the phone lines, and we're entertaining Michigan scenario conversation.
Hey, bro, what do you got on Michigan? You got anything on this whole Michigan thing?
Yeah, a former great Michigan wide receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones, wanted to say what up to Braylon Edwards, a legendary Michigan wide receiver.
Tell my boy I said what's going on.
I will. I had a few seconds to say hi and chat with him in the locker room. He's got a ton of respect for Braylon, so I'm going to keep it on the positive side for Michigan right now.
How's his energy? You say you got a chance to talk to Donovan DPJ. I know he was listed in the injury report earlier in the week. How's his injury or hurt, whatever he is, and then how's his energy?
Yeah, so his energy is good. He's kind of, and we'll see if what he's acting like now, if he's breaking out of his shell or whatnot, but he's kind of a quiet guy and very, very short and direct with his responses, especially when speaking to the media. We'll see if that comes out, because all the players love him. But from an injury standpoint, we'll know for sure in about an hour and 15 minutes when the official practice report comes out. But Dan Campbell said they're still deciding on how serious his rib injury is. It's not anything serious long term. It was something he suffered in his last game for the Cleveland Browns, and it's just been something they've been monitoring. It was nothing that affected the physical to get him to come over in this trade, so they're not worried about it. But I think they're making a decision, injury or not, whether they feel he's ready to make this trip to LA to face the Chargers. So unfortunately, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes early to give you that official answer.
Broder, one thing that Ryan Ermanni has been big on is the Detroit Lions getting healthy and staying healthy, and that seems to be the motto or the theme of the week. Talk about the health situation right now with the Detroit Lions as they go into the game this week against the Chargers.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of key players are coming back. You know, with the exception of Halapoulivaati Vaitai, who was the starting right guard at the beginning of the season, he's out and he's dealing with a back injury again. I don't know if that's from, he's been dealing with a leg injury and maybe this is a symptom of that or a side effect of working that injury back, but he's going to be out But Graham Glasgow is going to slide right in that starting right guard spot. And again, outside of Vaitai, that starting lineup now is healthy. The big boys up front, and you pair that with David Montgomery, with Jamison Williams is healthy. We'll see when Donovan Peoples-Jones can get out there. This offense and this defense, to be honest, they're getting healthy. Jonah Jackson, they're getting healthy. You're right. It's at the right time of the year. And especially in this game against the Chargers with a really strong defensive line, having that full, healthy offensive line unit and David Montgomery running behind him, I think is going to be a huge advantage, or at least a huge part of the game on Sunday.
Hey, bro, good to see you, man. I wanted to chat about Amon-Ra St. Brown, man. It turns out he played against the Raiders with some bad stuff. Blisters on his hands, blisters on his feet. Listen, as a dad of 3 young kids back in the day, I know what that is. That's hand, foot, and mouth disease, otherwise known as Coxsackie. And that's exactly what he had. It's called Coxsackie. That's what it's called.
One more time.
Coxsackie.
Hey, this is a children's
Tell
show.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's what he had. I've just diagnosed him. But to play with that, man, that is something, man. That is painful.
Yeah, I've never had it, but just to hear him describe it, how his body, I don't want to say shutting down, but you talk the blisters on his hands and his mouth. It seems like an incredibly uncomfortable situation. And he said it just got worse as the game went on. So
of course,
what an incredible effort for him to be out there. And he had a huge first half. I think he finished the game with 6 catches for 100-some yards.
He did.
He had 5 for 80, 5 for 90 in the first half. I mean, when you least or he always shows up. This guy, when you think maybe he's going to be out, maybe he's battling an injury, Amon-Ra St. Brown does it again.
How about his junior partner in Jamison Williams? Jamison Williams, he's starting to round into shape here now. We've seen him in practice. We've seen your videos. The kid is making cuts. He looks great on the practice field. I love his attitude. He is just a likable guy. I cannot wait to see this guy hit his stride. I believe it could be this week.
I'm with you, Maz, and I like putting out Jamison Williams videos because I think there's so much to him that people don't see, and not just on the field. It's the off the field. You're right. His personality's starting to come out more.
That's
There's
great.
been a lot of negativity towards him in the media and with fans, but it doesn't seem to affect him, or at least as much as we thought maybe last year. He's happy. He's energized. He's wanting to go out and produce. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't want to go out there and drop the ball or get 1 or 2 targets. He wants to produce more, but he's got the team in first, right at the front of his mind, and I'm not worried about his commitment at all. I do agree with you, Maz. I think this could be a great week with all these weapons back, with a run game that's fully healthy. We could see Jamison Williams explode. I want to see some short to intermediate routes. I want to see him just get the ball in Jamison Williams' hands, and let's see what he can do after, because he's so electric, as you can see from some of those videos.
And I think part of that, Broder, in terms of things not bothering him, is because at the end of the day, he is a guy that had 1,500 at Bama. He is a guy that was in the running where if he doesn't get hurt, they win a national championship, and he's played for Nick Saban. So I believe his confidence is always going to be there. It's just about a matter of getting him back to that confidence. Hey, let me indulge me for a minute. Before the season started, I had this as a game that the Lions will lose. Keep in mind, I had them 13-4. By the way, I'm still perfect.
Yep.
Still perfect
He's
right now.
He's got every game
I've got
right
every
so
game
far,
right
Matt.
so far. I had Seattle, and then I had the Ravens. But coming into this game, I just had this as one of the losses. I said, going out on the road, this should be about a game. They probably won about 3-4 in a row at this time. They'll lose this one. Now I'm not so sure because the Lions, in my estimation, are the better team. They just have maybe more high-profile players. But also, I think it comes down to Dan Campbell versus Brandon Staley. In my estimation, Dan Campbell is a much better coach, and he's only getting better. Talk about where you are right now with Dan Campbell in terms of where he's come from to where he is now as a coach in this league.
Yeah, it seems every time you see him up on the podium or even out in the field coaching, it seems like he's getting more comfortable with himself. He's maturing. He's getting more savvy with his decision-making. We haven't talked about any poor decisions being made in the last, 5-6 weeks? And that was almost all you could talk about at the beginning of the season and last season. So I do think he's really coming into his own. And this game really does kind of paint that picture of a coach in Brandon Staley on the other side who's kind of got the world against him. And he's got a really uphill battle to climb to maybe keep his job. Dan Campbell is the reverse. Like, he's on as upward of a trajectory as any coach in the league. And it's exciting to have someone like that in Detroit. And we heard Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson talk yesterday in their press conference. And Aaron Glenn in particular was just talking about building this organization, being a part of a winning program, not just for 1 year, but actually being one of those teams that competes year in and year out, that you're upset at 9-8 when you don't make the playoffs because you expect to be in the playoffs every year. It seems like Dan Campbell, the Dan Campbell that everyone was joking about a couple years ago, is the one that everyone's rallying around, and this identity of the team is being built around him. It's really great to see.
Hey, bro, the last question for me, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how good that Los Angeles Chargers pass rush at least used to be with the guy Joey Bosa. Khalil Mack seems like in the last 3 games they're kind of getting back to what
Monday.
they did. Talk about Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack going against this offensive line, which is almost at full power, but at the 3 positions, what we call the 3 pillars, they are full power. Talk about that offensive line of the Lions going against that defensive line for the Chargers.
Yeah, and I got to revert back to Dan Campbell's press conference a couple days ago when this question came up, and he real quickly goes, we have a couple tackles of our own that we're pretty confident in. It is an awesome matchup. Penei Sewell versus Bosa, and then Taylor Decker versus Khalil Mack. Whichever side maybe they want to flip-flop, who knows? But it's strength on strength. And, being as though this offensive line for the Lions is so great overall, I think the advantage is in the Lions' court. Joey Bosa showed up on the injury report for the Chargers yesterday with an illness, not an injury, but an illness. So we'll see how healthy he is. But you just think with him next to, Jonah Jackson's back right next to Taylor Decker. Graham Glasgow's going to be right next to Penei Sewell. Then you got Frank Ragnow, the stalwart of that offensive line in the middle. The thing that the Chargers don't do very much because they're so talented, because these 2 players are so talented, they don't do a lot of tricks. They don't scheme a lot of weird things from their defensive line. So it is strength on strength. There are going to be a lot of one-on-one matchups between Penei and Bosa and Decker and Mack, and we'll see how who wins at the end of the day. Who when that bell rings, who's going to come out on top? I really like how this offensive line is coming together, and we hope after this bye week that they really show it.
Hey, last night Bears knocked off the Panthers. Montez Sweat was all over the field last night. He was everywhere. He just got himself a $100 million deal with the Bears. Of course, they traded for him from Washington. I want to see Montez Sweat on our side. I want to see a guy. I want to see Aiden Hutchinson. I do. I want to see him. He's had a month of not great football.
He hasn't had a sack in a month.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Honestly, I could give you the answer of it's not just about sacks. He's doing his job. He's getting pressures. He's opening up the field and opening up lanes for his teammates. But at the end of the day, it is if you're the star player on defense, you gotta finish. You gotta be the one that sets the tone. Whether you're being double or triple teamed, maybe you need to get that first sack to then open up the floodgates for your teammates. So I don't want to say he's doing a bad job, but you're right. This defense is lacking that finisher, which I think he can be. I believe that he can be that. We just haven't seen it in the last couple of weeks. So, going up against the right side of that Chargers offensive line, which is the weaker side of their line, this could be that game where we see him, get a 2.5, 3 sack game. Remember, Khalil Mack a couple of weeks ago had 6 of his 9 in one game. Sometimes these things can just happen, and this would be a good stretch to get Aiden going, get that defensive line going. I would love to see some of the other guys contribute a little bit more, but yeah, you're right. Aiden Hutchinson needs to be the difference maker.
All right, Matt, we're going to let you get out of here, but I want to ask you one question about the offense this game. Okay, this is Maz's question. Who's going to be your breakout player on offense? Now, obviously not breakout player because we know who these guys are. Who's going to be the dominant player on offense this game? Ben Johnson's got a lot of tools in the toolbox available for this game. Who's going to be the one for Ben Johnson this game?
Yeah, well, so we just talked about Jonah Jackson coming back, Frank Ragnow, David Montgomery.
I see where you're going.
So I'm definitely going to pick Jahmyr Gibbs. I think this is one of those games for Gibbs. He just had he's had 2 pretty good games in a row. One really good against the Raiders. He did play well against the Ravens, but we kind of want to forget about that game. Jahmyr Gibbs with all these other weapons on the field, and now this renewed confidence that the coaching staff, that Ben Johnson has in him to do things all over the field, between the tackles and on the outsides. I think having him and Montgomery out there at the same time, or whatever Ben Johnson is scheming up, this is a perfect game to get Jahmyr in a mismatch. Have a linebacker on him, get him to the outside and let him use that explosiveness to maybe break a 30, 40-yard run, maybe break a 50, 60-yard touchdown run. I think Jahmyr Gibbs could crack that 150-yard mark again.
That is
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. That's definitely not a bad.
Great job out there, Matt.
Great job, Matt.
Thanks
We
so much,
appreciate
Matt.
you, man.
Hope
You
you're feeling
can
better.
You can follow Matt at MattBro21 on X. He's a hell of a journalist here at Woodward Sports Network, and he's even better of a guy.
Thank you,
we
guys.
will talk to you later. We appreciate you,
See
Matt.
you, superstar.
Go have some
Have a
fun,
great
man.
show.
Tell
Thanks, Matt.
DPJ I said what up.
I will, Braylon.
Appreciate you, Matt. Some good stuff to talk about, digest. It leads us back into the Lions, which do have a game this coming Sunday,
do.
so we'll be able to go
We
around
still
that.
got some people on hold, too.
We still do. They want to talk about Michigan?
Oh, I guess they do.
We're kind of like into the Lions, but if you want to go back to Michigan to go back to the Lions, we can do that too.
Don't matter. Just let the show flow.
Yeah, well, you brought it up, so obviously that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get a word from the Hamlin Pub, and then we'll get back to the calls.
Hamlin Pub is awesome.
Yeah, so talk about it.
Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. Hamlin Pub, making you feel like a regular.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? You can do that with Cintron. So take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. Is the Cintron energy. You can drink it. You can also, of course, live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron from your local Meijer. Cintron is the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. So go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas for that $100,000 Vegas getaway.
Welcome back to Woodward Sports Network. This is Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway right there. Ryan won't be with us today. For everybody that's calling in, we appreciate the calls, and we know that when you call in, it takes a second. We appreciate that you're waiting. We're jumping to the Lions for 2 seconds, and then once we get off the Lions, we'll get back to Michigan for the last 30 minutes of the show. You can call in and talk about Michigan all you want to, or you can talk about the Detroit Lions or the NFL. We appreciate your calls. Let's dive into the Lions real quick, give you a little bit about what's going on, because there is a game this week, Tom Mazaway.
There is, and a guy that you're interested in seeing.
Yeah.
We talked about him. It's Donovan People-Jones, and Matt Broder had a chance to catch up with him this week, and he asked him about how he's going to fit in here in Detroit.
Right away? Yeah, definitely. Just getting in each week. You know, each week is different, so really just I'm trying to focus on honing in on the plan that they already have going on here. It's an amazing plan so far, so I'm hopeful. What does the fresh start do?
Already got all that Lion gear on. What did he do with his Browns gear?
Burned it.
Did he?
He burned it.
He did.
Like,
how happy is he? Because he was on. That's a pretty good Browns team.
It's a good defense, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the misconception. It's the best defense in the NFL, and it's one of the best defenses we've seen in a very long time. So it's a really good defense, but the offense is stagnant. You don't know who the quarterback is going to be one week to the next. Is Deshaun Watson the quarterback? Is he healthy? Is he going to play when he's healthy? Who's going to be the quarterback? You don't know. So and then Nick Chubb, that blow to Nick Chubb that they took at the beginning of the season, that was very huge for them, and it set back Deshaun Watson, who was already set back from the time he missed. But he's excited excited. You're in a new locker room. It's good energy on both sides of the ball. Special teams, kind of sort of.
He's following your life, basically.
That's funny.
Right? Think about it.
I don't want to say it like that, but yes, he's definitely following up. He's following a journey that I was privileged to take as well. I went to Martin Luther King High School, which is 2 miles from his school, Cass Tech. You know, I go to University of Michigan. He goes to University of Michigan. I get drafted by Cleveland. He gets drafted by Cleveland. And then I get traded in the middle of the season. He gets traded
to a playoff
in the middle
team.
of the season to a playoff team.
Yeah.
I went to the Jets. He is.
Yeah.
But
He's
and
on
that's
his
how
way up.
and that's how I connect to the energy. When you come in there and the energy is different, the coach is different. The coach speaks to you. The coach sees you. And the coach says, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing, man? What's up with your sister? How's your mom doing?" Like things like that go a very long way. Like that never happened in Cleveland. That didn't happen with Eric Mangini.
Right.
That didn't happen in those places. So when I got to New York and Rex was like, "Hey, how's your brother? Doesn't he have a brother that's pretty good running back?" Things like that make you like, you're like, damn, he asked about my brother and he knew he was running back. Exactly. So you're ready to play, and I think that's what DPJ is noticing, that energy in Dan Campbell and that team. And he's a playmaker. Yeah. Like he's been making plays legitimately right around the corner from Ford Field for a very long time at Cass Tech.
Cool,
so
man.
I mean, shoot, he called it. What was it? He called a game winner in the state championship at Ford Field.
How about that?
So he's now back in a place that he recognizes and is good to be there.
And now he's with another group of wide receivers. So it's a different group of wide receivers. But the leader of that wide receiver group is obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown. They asked him about the addition of DPJ.
He's a big body. Shoot, I asked him how much he weighed. He said 210. I'm like, bro, you look 230. Boy's swole. But nah, he should be a great addition for us. A guy that make a big body catch. He can run as fast, but I mean, you can never have enough weapons on offense. So.
He's swole, huh?
DPJ has always been, like a good size wide receiver, if you will. Pause now. But the interesting thing about the whole thing too is even though Amon-Ra St. Brown is in year 3, he's a real vet. You feel the vet energy out of him. J-Mo talked about that, the vet energy out of him. You look at that room, Josh Reynolds. We may think Josh Reynolds is some young kid. Josh Reynolds is in year 8.
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds is in year 8. They have a veteran group around them, and those guys play together. Those guys understand, hey, 1 minute I can get the catch, you can get the catch. We know Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get his catches, but when your name is called, make plays, it's very different than when he got to Cleveland. No real guy. Then he gets there, it's Juice, but Juice was traded there. You got Odell come there. Odell bought the circus, if you will, and it was Baker Mayfield, and then they leave. You get Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's a great guy, great player. Yeah. He's quiet. He's not leading anything. He's just going to go on the field and ball. Now you have a collective of guys that you can speak to, talk to, bounce ideas off of in the offense.
How important do you think that he's going to be to this offense going forward?
I think he's going to be valuable. I think he's going to be valuable because you need a playmaker. Like let's just look at the NFL. Let's look at the playoff picture right now.
Yeah.
When you get to the playoffs, you're going to be playing against Minnesota or you'll be playing against some team, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or let's just say the big boys. You're going to beat the Eagles.
49ers.
The 49ers, the Cowboys,
Seattle.
Like, okay, those are the 4, right? You're going to have playmakers. Everybody knows the offense of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff right now. They know he's doing the underneath routes. He's going to take them, he's run to the sideline, and every once in a while, you'll hit him with a little play action, little supporter. Like, they know their offense. They know what you're going to do. When you run the ball, eventually Sam Laporta's going to get involved. You're going to come in randomly and give J-Mo a chance. It'll be some random play. Josh Reynolds, when it's third down. If I was a defensive coordinator, I would be looking for number 8 on third down because I know they like to get the ball to Josh Reynolds. Now you got another guy that's not just a take the top off play. He's not just a guy for underneath routes. He's not just a guy for... He's a guy that can do a lot. He's a guy that can take the top off the coverage. He's a guy that can jump over players. He's a guy that can make the first down. He's a guy that has punt returning abilities. So he's just a good football player that can make plays, and I think they will need somebody like him down the stretch.
I want to get back to Amon-Ra St. Brown because Matt Broder and the rest of the reporters got with him yesterday because it's like a homecoming for him.
It is.
Going back to L.A. When you're playing in front of the home crowd, here's what he had to say about going back to L.A.
It's going to be fun. Got a lot of family coming, a lot of friends. Last time I played in LA, my rookie year against the Rams, it was a close game. We almost won, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go back.
How many tickets are you? It'd be good to go back home. Courtesy, by the way, to DetroitLions.com. We thank them for all they're great. They do a great job, and Matt Broder, as always. But going home, Bray, playing at home, that's got to give you a little extra juice.
Yeah, it does. I've played at Ford Field. I played my second preseason game my rookie year, caught a touchdown. We won the game. Played 1, 2, 3 other times here. The energy is different when you come back home. I usually float around 35 to 50 tickets.
Of course.
You try to get mom.
That costs you, right?
100%. 100%. That's nobody's taking that fee but you. And
do you get an inside price, or you're paying face value?
No, you get an inside price.
Okay.
You get an inside price,
Okay.
but Mass, 50 tickets is 50 tickets.
I know.
I don't care what inside price you
I
got.
know.
But you know the good thing about that? All you do is you give mom, say, Mom, you're the point person.
Yep.
And then mom is in charge of all 50 tickets. It sucks. I appreciate you, Mom. Love you, but that's what happens. And then, but the energy, that's what we were talking about. You know, when you come home, man, especially when you're looking at SC is legitimately a rock's throw from SoFi. Like, one's in Inglewood, the other one's in Compton. Like, they're literally a rock's throw from each other. It's just like coming home, like DPJ playing at Fort Field, having gone to Cass Tech, but your family's there. You see your college colors are going to be there.
Sure.
You don't go on the road and see Michigan anywhere, but when you go here, you come play at home, you'll see Michigan. So it just gives you a different level of energy. We played here at the Jets in 2010, and yeah, it was a good game.
That SC sideline, man, used to be something, huh?
Yeah, it had to be something because the stands weren't anything. Do you remember
you
those times?
You played in the huge Rose Bowl or the LA Coliseum.
No, they played the Coliseum.
Yeah, the Coliseum.
But
that's a huge place.
But they were the best team, damn near of the modern era, with the exception of Miami.
It's those LA fans.
Yeah,
they come and go.
How you have more celebrities on the sideline than fans in the stands?
Isn't that something?
I don't know, man.
Remember I brought up how Amon-Ra St. Brown played through injury against the Raiders?
I
remember I prescribed what it was. It's hand, foot, mouth disease.
You did say that.
And you know what it's called, right?
Call again?
Here you go again with
I'm not going to say. But here's
say
what
it again.
Don't say it again.
I'm going to let Amon-Ra St. Brown tell you how it felt to play against the Raiders.
Oh my God.
I had blisters on my feet, on my hands, my mouth. So like before the game, my hands and feet weren't really hurting. It was hurting a little, but in the game, like it got worse, and I wore like socks and gloves, whatever. So the blisters kind of got like swollen, and so I felt like I was like running on needles. Like catching the ball it hurt a lot, so especially towards the end of the game. I was like in a lot of pain, but I mean, shoot, I had to play. I already missed one too many games, so I knew we had a bye week coming up too, so I was like, I can just push the game and I'll be all right. It's a lot of pain. It definitely got worse throughout the game. Like I said, it's like you're walking on needles the whole game, so it was hurting a lot, but I was able to get through it. But yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, he ain't kidding, man. I'm telling you, and that stuff, it spreads quick. It's like the chicken pox.
I'm glad that I never had a Coxsackie. But you know what the interesting thing is now with all the information that the public is privy to, like everyone you feel bad for the players. And I'm not knocking it at all. I actually love it because guys played through a lot, like when we were playing, but the information never really got out there. Right. So fans, they didn't know what was going on with players. Like I remember Ryan Tucker, he was a left tackle my first 2 years in Cleveland, like strong, man. He was a tough, you know what. I think he was on the team when the Rams won the Super Bowl. I think he played right tackle then for them, but he had 2 cracks in his spinal column. 2 cracks in there, and he had like a little chip down here and still played.
Sounds like stink, Mark Schlereth.
I saw the x-rays. So for those out there talking about, no, he did. I saw those x-rays. It's clear as day. There were cracks in here, and it was down here. Like guys bruised kidneys and all that type of stuff.
Man.
It is.
It's a car crash.
And it comes with it. And it's one of those things where you remember the old school football highlights of the 60s and 70s, 80s, and those hits and those vicious things. Yeah. So for individuals to grow up watching that and still want to play football, we might be a little off. There may be some truth.
That's why flag football is becoming very popular.
You get more hurt in flag football, man. All that jerking and back and forth.
I don't know about getting
ACL.
I don't know about getting as hurt.
Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not the physicality, but the little Barry Sanders.
It's going to be an Olympic sport one day.
Never.
No, it is.
Never.
You bet.
Flag football is an Olympic sport?
It's coming.
Cap. That's what we should have played today.
No cap.
No cap. That's cap.
No
All
cap.
cap.
Flag football.
It is a real thing.
That's cap.
No, it's an actual report. Like that flag football is coming to the Olympics.
Man, you know what? Hey, look, we're going to take a break. I'm going to have to digest this and
you
figure that out. Feldman is what we got to talk about now. Feldman Auto Group is Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer with 18 locations. There's a Feldman Auto dealership near you. Visit feldmanauto.com to find out where to go. Also, since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. It's called the Feldman Advantage, so do yourself a favor and take advantage.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company.
Talk about it.
The official equipment provider of us here at Woodward Sports. Michigan-owned, family-grown. Bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers or weed whackers, however you look at it. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, snow plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy and rent it, 0% finance, delivering it straight to your door. Once again, that website, outdoorequipco.com.
Back to the second hour of Ermanni and Edwards. Myself, Tom Mazaway. Tom, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm good, Bray. I'm getting used to sitting under these bright lights here.
The bright lights, they are kind of bright up here, huh?
They are.
I just get used to them.
Hope everyone's enjoying. Sorry I can't play like I said on the chat, but the phone lines are open, guys. You can always call in, talk about anything you want. 313-552-6322. We got it up on the chat as well. Parker pinned it, so you can check it out. We're going to do a little fill-in-the-blank Friday. We got our pick segment coming up. Braylon, the hottest guy in the room right now. And
don't sell yourself cheap.
We're going to get you some winners, and we're going to talk about last night's game and a lot around the NFL as well. But, Bray, I want to start it off on a Friday. Fill in the blank. Go around the room. You guys, of course, on the chat, you could drop in too. Here we go. Question number one. The Lions average 390.6 yards per game. They will have blank, more or less, than blank yards on Sunday. So I want more or less and the yards. Or you can just give me the damn yards. They average 390, almost 391 yards a game, Braylon. I'm going to come to you. What are they going to have against the Chargers?
I'll go 3. I think they'll go under. I'll say they'll have less by 15 yards.
All right, so about 375 yards.
375. But I think it's a well-balanced game. Like, I don't think it's one of those games where you come out and just 325 passing, 185 yards rushing. I think it's one of those games where you have about 225 passing. You'll have about, so that's the rest of that. You have 150 yards rushing. So I think it's like a balance like that where it's not something that will cause you to be like, man, you'll look and say, okay, 225 passing, 150 rushing. I think a balanced attack.
I'm torn. Before I go to the boys, I just want to say, I'm torn here because the offense is at full strength.
Right.
For the first time all year, they got everybody on the lineup.
Right.
Everybody.
But keep that in mind. For the first time all season.
So everybody's got to eat a little, right?
And it takes some time for an offensive coordinator to kind of figure that out. That's just my
Now the way they held the Jets down, and the Jets offense is pathetic, but the Jets were home. It was Monday night, and the Chargers really beat the living daylights out of them that game. I'm going to say they're going to be. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
Be a Debbie Downer.
All right. No, I'm not. They're going to have over 390 yards.
There you go.
I really believe that. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you they're going to win, but I'm going to tell you they're going to be over 400 yards in total offense. Parker, coming to you.
Well, so my thing is the Chargers are number 27 against the tight end and number 26 against the running back. I think this is a game where they're going to go about 5 or 10 more yards over than last week. So the Lions average 390.6 yards. They will have 10 more yards on Sunday.
All right, so you're over the 400-yard marker with me. All right, JB, you're up.
The Lions will have less than 390.
There you go, JB.
Less. I only say this for the simple fact that they're going to be up against the Chargers, and afterwards, Ben Johnson will sit here and try out some new plays against the team. So,
really?
Yeah. I'll say like 365.
Okay.
No faith.
So
Next one.
So we got 375, we got 365, we got 400, and over 400.
Couple of 400.
Okay,
yeah.
there we go. I got them written down.
All right. Now, you gave this question to Matt Broder, and we'll give it to you now. The Lions' offensive star this week will be blank.
Sam Laporta. It'll be Sam Laporta. I mean, that's always an easy answer, but I think that is the case in this one. I think you look at the run game, they're going to try to get that established moving forward, and I think it's going to leave Sam Laporta in a lot of favorable matchups. I think Derwin James is going to be too busy worrying about Amon-Ra St. Brown, so Sam Laporta.
All right, we'll go around the horn. Parker, you're up next. Offensive star will be
David Montgomery.
Oh, Monty.
Give him another touchdown.
You're sticking with Monty. All right, JB, you're up.
The start on Sunday will be Monty as well. I definitely believe he'll get in the box at least 2 times. So 2 touchdowns from Monty.
All right, that leaves me with the guy, the quarterback. I'm going with Jared Goff. Going back to L.A., he's going to have a lot of friends and family there at SoFi where he used to play. Jared Goff's going to have a big day on Sunday. That's it. Hometown hero. Let's give him. I can see Dan Campbell holding the ball up right now.
Okay.
Saying, where's JG? Where's JG? Here you go, my man. Break it down.
Okay.
All right?
I like it.
Break it down. Here we go.
Jared
Question number 3. The NFL team that has surprised you in the first half of the season, good or bad, is blank. Braylon.
Oh, I'm going first every time.
You want me to go to Parker? Parker.
Yeah, go to Parker. Oh, no, I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go. Team that surprised me the most.
Now, it could be good or bad. Like a team that disappointed you or a team that is, wow.
I said 49ers. Like, I understand injuries. Like, everybody has injuries. I mean, ask the Detroit Lions about injuries. The Detroit Lions have, obviously had a slightly easier schedule, but Detroit Lions have dealt with injuries. They're 6-2. Like, the San Francisco 49ers have lost 3 games in a row. And everybody's playing a part in it. The defense, you can't tell me Deebo Samuel plays defense. Like, they didn't even look up to snuff. So, I'm going to say it's the 49ers. Like, I thought that they were a better team. I thought that they'd be a little more dominant. Like, do you realize that they played the Jaguars, who have won 6 in a row?
Yeah.
And if they lose, that's 4 in a row.
That's almost unheard of.
So that's why it's me.
It's a good call.
49ers for me.
Parker.
I think for good, it has to be the Houston Texans. I mean, this has been one of the most, like, you want to watch this team type vibes. I'm loving them. I'm loving CJ Stroud. I'm loving Will Anderson. I'm loving Nico Collins. But on the bad side, I'd say the New York Jets.
Yeah, who knew what was going to happen to them 4 plays into the season, right?
True.
JB, who do you got?
For the good, I got to go with the Houston Texans as well, too. You definitely weren't expecting this from out of CJ Stroud year 1, so they definitely impressed me the most. As far as the bad goes, I got to go with the Arizona Cardinals. I just don't know what's happening over there. Sitting at 1-8, I have no idea how to fix this franchise.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to help you guys read this question. It says, the NFL team that has surprised you in the first half of the season, good or bad.
But we change it
not
to and.
good
Well,
and bad.
Parker just wants to keep talking.
Parker
so
wants
he's gonna
exactly.
add,
Parker
he just wants to keep talking.
He's learned from me though, so I can't be
Yeah,
too
so
mad.
he's just going to
I
add
was
parts to
talk
the question, and then JB just followed him. That's all.
It's Maz. Good or bad?
Yeah, I
What
got
team?
I got the team.
Texans.
It's the New York Football Giants. Okay, they disgust me. I cannot believe that this is the team I watched last year beat the Vikings in Minnesota in the playoffs. And they are just a complete mess this year. And it's a major disappointment that the New York Giants are this bad. It looks like they have to literally start over again.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall when you didn't pay Saquon Barkley and then you paid Daniel Jones $42 million.
Well, I guess that's what it is.
Writing was on. You skipped the question, though.
Did I?
You did. Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh! Aiden Hutchinson hasn't had a sack in a month, guys.
Ooh.
He will have blank sacks on Sunday. Blank sacks on Sunday. You want to go, Bray?
I'll go first. I think a sack and a half. I think this is one of those games where I think Aiden has heard people talking about, he hasn't had a sack in a month. I think he knows he hasn't had a sack in a month. And he's one of those guys, he wants to make an impact in the game. Not just pressures, not just allowing other people to have success in the backfield or have success at the line of scrimmage. So give me a sack and a half. I think Aiden knows, all right. Because remember last year, we started kind of, where's the number 2 pick? And then he started to go on that run.
Yep.
I think he starts that run now, so I think second half.
All right. Parker, what do you got?
I'm going to say 1 sack. I'm not going to get my expectations too high. A drought's a drought. So I'm going to say 1 and leave it there. I hope he gets more.
Go ahead, JB.
I'm going with 1 as well. I don't think he's too concerned about the sacks, if anything. As long as he can sit here and keep getting pressure on the quarterback, if he gets the sack, he gets it. If not, he's not that concerned. So just 1.
And I'll play the prices right. I'll overbid Braylon by a half a sack. Give me 2 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson this week. How's that?
Yeah, I like that. I absolutely like that. What you say? You said he's not worried about not getting sacked?
He's not worried about getting sacked. So he's just like, hey, I'm worried about the playoffs. So
I like that. But at the same time, you know what he needs to be worried about? Every time he plays a team that is going to the playoffs, it seems, he doesn't get to the quarterback. This is another team that has a potential, is deep potential, but the potential to go to the playoffs. So if it's another team that doesn't get a sack, it's like, what happened when you played a good team? So just food for thought.
Here we go. Last 2 are going to be on the Michigan game.
Uh-oh.
Michigan faces their toughest opponent so far this year. J.J. McCarthy will have his blank game this Saturday.
I think it's the best game of the year. JJ's one of those guys that focuses, and when turmoil happens, he gets better. I seen this last year. We watched him zone out literally under the goalpost before the Ohio State game, and we saw how that one ended for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think he goes off. You saw the free Harbaugh shirts that he wore early in the season. Now you got all this other stuff. You see him commenting.
Yeah, he's good at that.
You see him commenting on posts talking about, I'm surprised they're not saying we're paying the refs as well.
Because we're the least penalized team.
I think this is one of those games. I think he's going off. So I say the best game of the year.
All right, Parker, go ahead.
I think he's going to have an average game. I think it's going to be a J.J. McCarthy average.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to exceed expectations.
All right, shut your mic off.
Exactly.
JB, you shut your mic off.
Turn your mic off. Turn your mic off.
With all the news coming out, Michigan, I'll tell you right now, they're probably pissed off. So I think JJ will sit here and actually have the best game of the season right now for him.
I second and third that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This kid lives for a game like this. What the hell else are you playing for?
Why did you come to Michigan?
Exactly.
Why did you come to
Michigan?
Michigan?
You remember a couple of years ago when Eric All had caught that ball against Penn State late in that game?
Right corner.
Yep.
Right
Kate
sideline.
McNamara hit him. That won that game. I just see a big play in this game late.
So you see a close game.
I do see a closer game than a lot of people think.
Okay.
I see a close game. I see Michigan winning in the fourth quarter and JJ really putting it out there and getting that win.
Okay.
I still think they could cover the spread though, late in that game. Maybe win by a little more than a touchdown, maybe 10.
I like 31-10. That's what I like.
hope you're right. I hope Ryan's right.
Yeah, I like it.
Because nothing would make me happier than seeing Michigan win by 40.
Yeah, but it's smart.
But it ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And you're allowed to have one. Like 40 is a lot. 40 is a hell of a lot of points.
Last one, guys. Michigan State. Those poor guys. They're getting 31.5 at Ohio State this weekend. 31.5. So right now, Michigan State is winning 31.5 to nothing. What are they going to do, Bray?
Lose.
Give me a score.
They don't cover.
Give me a number.
Ohio State wins 49.
Wow, I just had that number.
Yeah, 49. Yeah.
You just picked, and I have another number.
49-13.
I had 10. Look at that.
49-13.
Okay, 49-13. That's what they call a cover.
That's definitely a cover.
That's a cover.
That's definitely a cover. I would definitely bet the cover of this game right now. Because at the end of the day, Ohio State needs one. I think for them being number one in the country, and this is Ryan Day. Them number one in the country.
They want to run it up too.
Exactly. And them knowing that, hey, that Notre Dame game was weak. Then Notre Dame got smacked. And then knowing that the Penn State game was weak. And then Penn State struggled against Indiana the whole game. I think they're due for a big one. I don't want them, but they're due for one. So I think they cover and they do it big.
It's a night game on Peacock or NBC, one of those two. Go ahead, Parker.
It's the same.
31.5. Give me a number.
I think it's obvious Ohio State will cover. I think it's going to be 38-10.
38-10. That's not a cover.
That's not a cover. It's 28 points.
That's 28.
That's
fine.
Duh, I'm an idiot.
So you're taking MSU in the points.
Yeah.
Okay, MSU in the points for Parker. JB, you're up.
You could give Michigan State 40. They're still not going to cover this game. Ohio State 49, Michigan State
6.
8.
Yeah.
That's some random.
Hey, if all those people out there that are wondering, like, oh my God, where'd all this Braylon hate from Michigan State come from? They're back where they started. We tried to be nice as related to Michigan State season and what was going on up there. Didn't say too much. Now, Ryan, he keeps poking fun at you guys, and I love it. I'm always gassing him up. But I haven't done that. But it was when Michigan State came out, Maz, the week of all this kind of first happening, and then talking about we started not to play Michigan because of the safety of our players. Then the Michigan State hate started again.
Hey.
It started again.
Michigan State is they're in a little bit of trouble this weekend. Hopefully
they just keep their mouth shut.
Hopefully they could score some points. But 49-10 is my game. Ohio State wins that game. They want to win just as bad as they want. They can't wait for November 25th. Or is it the 26th? What date is it? The 25th?
It is the 25th of November.
25th of November.
November to remember, as Edgar Allan Poe once said. We're getting honored. I told you this, the Big Ten team, the 2003 Big Ten championship team.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
So we're getting honored. So I'll be out there smoozing with all the old guys.
Sweet, man. Can't wait.
My old guy now. Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? And when we get back, start talking about the NFL a little bit, because there's some interesting games going on, but not a lot. Not a big week for the NFL. But first, a message from Swiss.
Yes. Do you all have football on the brain like us? Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year has already been awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com, or as always, give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate. And it's fun. I've actually been there. It is fun. It's a great time. It's from 9:30 to 1. Because remember, as soon as kickoff happens, the party's over. So everybody's got to leave the premises and go outside and go to your respective tailgates. But it is fun on the inside. It's at Eastern Market and it's at Shed 5. It's a bash. I'm talking about outside, inside. It's a lot of fun. You'll come there. Long drinks. The long drinks are good, too. And the food is good, too. Once you go to the VIP tailgate, you come inside. Food is actually very good, and there's plenty enough to last. It's the Lions tailgate. It's official. And come on down. The Lions are going to be 7-2, I promise you, after the game. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm contradicting myself. But come on down, Long Drink, and you will see. All right. We're back.
We're back.
And it's time to go around the NFL. Tom, it's kind of an ugly week as it relates to the games that were on.
I'm having a hard time picking my Survivor pick this week.
Well, take me through this week and tell me why it's so ugly.
I will. I want to start you with we're going to keep with the Lions here just for a little bit. Dan Campbell had a chance to speak earlier today, and he says, listen, we've got 6 wins so far, but we're not guaranteed another 6 wins. We have to play better the second half.
We've been able to earn 6 wins up to this point after 8 games, and now we're not guaranteed 6 more wins playing the way that we played on the first half. We have to get better. We have to. Say it every year. There's teams that are jockeying for these spots, and what happens? Some of these teams that look pretty good right now begin to they'll begin to fall, and then some of these other teams will start, they'll start rattling off some wins. So we have to improve, and I believe we can. I said this, we still have not put a complete game together with all three phases in one game. We've complemented, but so that's what we have to do.
There you go, Bray. He says their best game is still out there. We heard that from a couple other players this week as well. You believe that?
I definitely believe that. We talked to Dan Miller about that, and even Dale Miller said the same thing. They haven't played a complete game yet. Guys have been injured. Guys have been out. They've been trying to get young guys going, talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, talking about Jamison Williams, David Montgomery, trying to get him healthy, the offensive line trying to get them healthy. So now this is the first game that everybody's back. And so now you'll see how good that offense can be with Ben Johnson. So I think you'll start to see them put together a game, and you'll say, wow, that looks a lot different than what they did against the Seattle Seahawks. Wow, this looks a lot different than it did in the first quarter against the Baltimore Ravens. So I think that game is still out there, and guys getting healthy, that's definitely how you have your best game of the season.
Hey, Dan Campbell also spoke about, I would think you have to call him the MVP of this season so far, is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Playing hurt, playing every day, being the leader on that team. Being the go-to guy on that wide receiver crew. Here's Dan Campbell on his star receiver.
What you said, you don't. He is so steady. His production is always there. His reliability is always there. And so, we don't ever want to take him for granted. He's a guy that's able to do multiple jobs. He can play multiple positions. He's got a vast route tree. He's tough. He's a blocker. He's got run after catch, So, the guy does everything for us. He's one of the reasons that our offense is able to go. He's one of the biggest pieces of it. So, he's a self-made man. He puts in the work every day at practice, every day pre-game or pre-practice, post-practice. He does. He puts it in and he improves every day.
The thing about it is a lot of times guys aren't chosen to become a leader, man. They're not chosen. Guys don't say, hey, this is me and I'm going to be a leader and I'm going to yell. Like, sometimes guys become a leader through organics in the process. And I think that's what happened with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a guy that he's shown, since he's been drafted, he's shown up. He's been accountable. He's been dependable. You can rely on him. You can count on him. He's a guy that's gotten better. He's a guy that is somehow coming to this place and say, you know what, I guess this is what my role is. He speaks on the team. He talks. He breaks it down. He gets guys going in the right direction. He is definitely a leader on this team. But it's happened because guys have watched him. Like, that's the best type of leader to have on the team, is a guy that you're watching put in the work, a guy that you're watching stay after practice, a guy that you're watching extra film, a guy that you're watching being respectful, a guy that you're watching when the coaches say, hey, you're supposed to get 12 on that route. You only got 8. That's why we were short on the third down. You're right, coach. That's my bad. I'm going to get it next time. When you're Jamison Williams, when you're Josh Reynolds, when you're Sam Laporta, when you're Jahmyr Gibbs, and you're watching that, you're like, I got to make sure I get my depth. It's kind of like the Tom Brady adage. If Bill Belichick can yell at this guy, then why – who am I to take that on this particular team? Amon-Ra St. Brown is the guy that sets the tone as what a pro is supposed to be, and guys are falling in line.
Who was that guy for you coming out? Who was that guy that you looked at and said, man, I got to do that?
The first guy for the Cleveland Browns was Andre Davis. Andre Davis was a middle linebacker out of Florida. He's older than me, but he just did everything the right way. Like, he's a great husband. He's a great player. He was great in the locker room. He was great at diffusing things. Then Jamal Lewis was one of those guys. Willie McGinnis was one of those guys for me. LaDainian Tomlinson was one of those guys. Thomas Jones. Definitely always guys that were a little older and guys that was coming to work. Jericho Cotchery is probably the first guy that was my same age that I'm watching, and I was watching him. I was watching how he came
Jet
in the morning.
fans loved him.
Yeah, he was one of the best.
Yeah.
You can count on him. I saw him make one of the greatest catches I've ever seen, and he popped his groin on the play.
Whoa.
It was a 3rd and 9 against the Cleveland Browns we're playing, and he's running a inside dig route about 10 yards. He dives to catch it. He already had a strained groin. He dived, and literally you could see on when he caught it, it popped. You can't hear it obviously, but you could see him
the rip.
And then he caught it, still made the catch. He was a consummate. He was a pro's pro. It was Jericho Cotchery, a guy my same age.
That's awesome, man. Hey, a guy that is looking up to a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown is Jamison Williams. He's a kid that he hasn't hit his stride yet. Really hasn't had a chance to get going. I really truly believe that this will be a breakout game for him. But they asked him yesterday at his locker. They said, "Hey, J-Mo, what are your individual goals for the second half of the season?" Listen to this kid.
I really don't have any personal goals. I just want to keep winning. You know, we got a real good team going right now, a real good season going right now. I'm really not focused on personal goals, though. I'm just focused on winning. Maybe we can get far in the playoffs and go do something big.
I'm a pretty good judge of character.
Yeah.
I am.
You are.
I like that kid.
Yeah.
I like that kid. I hope that talent that we all saw at Alabama comes out here and blossoms, because I still think sky's the limit for this guy.
Yeah, and for everybody out there saying, why doesn't he have goals, or he should have goals, or what do you mean you don't have goals? When you go to Alabama, your goal is to win. When you go to Alabama, your goal is to win championships. Your goal is to do what you're supposed to do. So that's what he's coming from. Like, once he starts to do what he's supposed to do, once they start to trust him, once it starts to work, after a season, then you can kind of make some goals on, okay, I got the flow of the NFL, Maz. I understand how this thing works. Now I can sit back and make some goals. This is what I project for myself in my third year, which will actually really be his second year, because he was really out the whole first year. So once you've kind of gone through a season, gone through some play, then you can sit back and say, I want to do this. I want to accomplish this. I want to accomplish that.
We got a couple minutes here to chat about last night's game, or we got to take a break?
You know what? Let's take a quick break, because we are in the second hour. Let's take a break. We'll come back, and we can talk about the game that was last night, if you want to call
and
that.
Some more. I got some great NFL stuff, and our picks still coming. And the phone lines are open, guys. We ain't scared. 313-552-6322. Jim Schwartz, we ain't scared.
And first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
Yes, Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts. Their personal technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. With 24/7 professional monitoring, call at any time, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work by people who are proven to care. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
One more time, that's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford Buick GMC. That's right. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. If you're looking for a Chevy or Cadillac, check us out at Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find a brand you want at lesstanford.com. lesstanford.com.
New roads.
Find them.
Gotta find them in this day and age. Welcome back, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni will not be here. If you join us again on Monday, hope you enjoy your time off, because nobody, and I mean nobody, works harder than that man,
Facts.
Ryan Ermanni. Maz, around the NFL, I believe we were doing.
Last night, I honestly, guys, I might have watched 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, same.
10 minutes. I had the phone. I kept looking for the score. It was a snooze fest. Bears win it 16-13, and they actually improved their lot to win the number one pick. And we talked about that yesterday. But the Panthers tried a 58-yard field goal near the end of that game. It fell short. Eddie Pinheiro could not kick it.
Bum.
I was hoping he would get it because I wanted the overtime because I needed the Bears to cover the spread, and they didn't by a half a freaking point.
I was hoping Mingo snuck in the end zone somehow, but
you were really desperate to start him. I don't like that guy because he's the guy that tackled Hutchinson and got him hurt. Remember?
He should have tackled some points because that's what happens when everybody on the Philadelphia Eagles, like they all had a bye week. So I was desperate.
How'd you like those orange unis? I like them.
I hate the helmets.
I
Those
like
helmets are ugly.
I don't think so.
I don't hate that
I think
helmet.
they look great.
It's just too much orange.
Yes.
And then he's got the black elbow pad, so he just really like looks awful. But I like him stiff arming his own team. Man, that's always fun when we get a chance to do that. Maz, talk about this game. I mean, just talk about.
Do we have to?
No, we don't. You know what? We can actually bypass that game.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about one thing about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are the Bears gonna do? Like, what's we talked about this yesterday. The Chicago Bears, they win a game, they enhance their odds to 2 picks, whatever. They got Justin Fields. They're trying to get another guy. They're probably trying to get a coach. What are they gonna do with these picks?
I don't know, but like I said, Matt Eberflus, I like him. He seems like a nice guy. Ryan Poles, their GM. I really believe that the Bears have to clean house. And I'm not trying to help the Bears out here.
Right.
But I believe that they need a fresh start again. I know they hired Poles a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, and Eberflus too. It ain't working. It's just not working. They just, I don't think they have it. To hear Eberflus talk in the press conference, he just sounds like he's over his head, like Nathaniel Hackett did last year when he was with the Broncos, when he was the head coach of the Broncos. There's some guys that are just destined just to be coordinators. Marty Morningweg, he was horrible here as a head coach. He sounded like an idiot. The bar is high. Then we got Rod Marinelli. My pick is sharp. My shovel. Some guys they're supposed to be coordinators.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, who knows? He might have another shot yet. He got this team to the Super Bowl. We got to say that. He got his team to the Super Bowl. Dan Quinn, I think, is above these guys. But I think the Bears need a fresh start in the executive office.
And maybe to the tune of in the executive office. But it's been that way. It's been so bad for a very long time. They need a new owner. Like, it's one of those things like when people
it's the Fords and it's the McCaskies.
And I know, and then the Steelers, like in the Roonies.
Yeah,
I get
Roonies.
it. I understand. But what were people saying about the Lions for a very long time before Sheila Ham dropped her last name and changed? They were saying the Fords need to sell. I think it's the same with the Bears.
So they need an in-law.
That's what they need. They need an in-law to come change things.
They need an in-law.
Yeah, 100%. I'm done with the Bears.
Hey, listen, guys. I like the Bengals this week. They're playing the Texans. But T. Higgins has been ruled out of this game, and there's a rumor that Jamar Chase, he wants to play, but he's going to be a game-time decision. Bray, do I take my pick away from the Bengals right now as my survivor pick if they're going to be without Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
I'm not picking the Bengals, and this is why. This is why I wouldn't. T. Higgins, who actually hasn't really done a lot this season, but he's going to catch fire because Joe Burrow's on fire. I feel like Zach Taylor's looking at the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, he's looking at the Houston Texans like, I get it. Yeah, C.J. Stroud's playing well, but I think we're better than them, and I think I can sit Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are already sitting. I can sit Jamar Chase too. Because what is it really about? It's not about right now. It's about January.
Right.
It's about the end of the season. So I could see this as a game in which Jamar Chase ends up getting set down as well because he's actually been dealing with this now for 3 weeks.
I know.
So this isn't something new. So I will push back on that.
Tyler Boyd might have a game. Tyler Boyd might be a guy you might want to pick up on your waiver wire.
Well, I think he's already been picked up. But when we make our picks later, we'll have to make a decision. I got one more here for you before the break. Josh Dobbs, great story, success story. Obviously a practice squad player for the Lions last year. Practice squad player last year. Titans picked him up. He starts, wins a game for them, gets traded to the Cardinals, wins a game for them. And now he gets traded to the Minnesota Vikings. But you know what they told him? Hey, Josh, we're not going to start you. This was last week. We're not going to start you. We're going to let Clayton Tune play. But we're not going to trade you either. That's what they told him, Bray. But here's what Josh Dobbs, I'll let him tell you what the hell happened at the trade deadline.
So I'm in Arizona last Sunday. We play Baltimore, right? Game ends. We lose by 7, 31-24. We're in the locker room. JG gets off his podium. He does media before I do. And he says, I'm starting for the Cardinals in Cleveland the next week. Monday, and then we played Sunday, played Baltimore. So I go to the facility on Monday, and JG, the head coach in Arizona, calls me to his office, and he says, hey, we're going to start Clayton Tune in Cleveland. And this is leading up to Kyler's return. So I went home, talked to my agent. I just told him about the situation. Went to sleep. Woke up Tuesday morning with a text from my agent saying, hey, you could be traded today because it's the trade deadline. and listen to this. When I had my meeting with JG in Arizona, he looked at me in the face and he said, you're not getting traded. You're not being released. You're going to be here in Arizona. I was like, okay, cool. And so then I woke up to that text saying, all right, the trade deadline's in 4 hours. You could be traded. You could go to Minnesota or go back to Cleveland. I was like, today's about to be nuts. I eat breakfast. I chill. He calls me back at 11. He says, you're getting traded to Minnesota. So I said, okay. So then, like, all the emotions of, like, the last 36 hours, whatever was told to you, something different has happened.
How about this, man? Is that like an everyday thing in the NFL?
Nah, it's like
lie.
100%. They all lie. I mean, I told you, like, the NFL, all they do is lie. They don't know how to tell the truth. Even when they try to tell the truth, then they still lie. So I'm listening to the story. I can put my head down because it wasn't anything that I haven't heard in a million times. But not to rush that story, Maz, people listening to it, I believe we have breaking news just sent to the chat.
What do you got, JB?
Okay, so breaking news.
Are you reading it off the chat?
No, that's
okay.
not
Thank you.
This is from On3 Sports. This is breaking news. The Big Ten is expected to discipline Michigan by prohibiting Jim Harbaugh from being on the sideline until the conclusion of the regular season.
Whoa.
And that is per Pete Thamel.
Oh, of course.
There you go.
Pete Thamel.
He couldn't wait.
He's back. Pete Thamel's back. So
he was waiting until this so he could say something.
So wait, read that one more time. What are they going to make him do?
So
he can't be on the sideline for
prohibiting him from being on the sideline until the conclusion of the regular season.
So can he be in the booth?
Basically, he can't coach. Is what they're saying.
Okay, so now the next move is he's going to get off the bus at Happy Valley, and his lawyer is going to say what?
Oh,
go to hell?
They're going to do an automatic injunction.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. You can't just come out and say this during the season. It's not even his law. So what happens is today is actually a holiday, which I heard. Today is a holiday, so they would have to get an emergency injunction to try to allow him to coach during the Penn State game. So it's about to be interesting to see what happens from this point till tomorrow at 12 p.m.
Huh.
Yeah, because Michigan still that was already up for grabs. That's the next move is immediate injunction, trying to get this overturned,
right.
trying to have them stall it until we'll see. So we'll see how it plays out. But as of right now, it sounds like Michigan's Jim Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh, will not be allowed to be on the sidelines for this game. Now that's kind of loose talk. Like I don't know if that means he can't coach, he can't be in the box, he just can't be on the sidelines. So I will have to see what.
Yeah, but what if they say we're not going for that?
And then it gets interesting. And then it gets. I don't
want to get a forfeit the game if he's on the sidelines. Because I ain't listening to them.
Yeah, 100%. Like I don't know. Like
poking the bear.
I'm gonna say the hell with him too.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna go right back at him.
It's the NCAA that has to file injunctions on that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing plays out. You know, Michigan will have their lawyers on the phone. We will see how this thing plays out because it's about evidence and it's about due process. So I don't believe that you can rush to judgment this fast, and I just don't think you can.
We're going to get you some more info on this, guys, so stick with us. When we come back, we're going to do our pick segment. Obviously, we're going to keep you up to date on this Michigan and Jim Harbaugh thing. On 3 and reporting, and the great Pete Thamel, of course. Thamel hasn't had a good word to say about Michigan yet. The only time you hear him is when he's against Michigan. So we'll see who comes back after this. So keep it right here on Woodward Sports. Where are we heading now, Bray?
Big boy.
This is going to Big
Boy. It's me. It's Big Boy. You know what time it is. It is wintertime. It's coming up. Comfort foods in wintertime are always better at Big Boy. Started off with the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowl. You want to start your day with a great breakfast. The stuffed potato pancakes are back, and those classic lumberjack Santa Fe garden omelets are there as well. The new apple pie hotcakes are delicious, and you want to end your day with a new gingerbread shake for dessert. Of course, they got the regular vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, and Oreo shakes at your local Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? Sometimes I get the same way a lot of the time. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and hats are there, guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop for everything Woodward Sports.
All right, fellas, we're back. Let me clarify what Pete Thamel of ESPN has said. Here's his thing. It says, sources, the Big Ten's expected discipline for Michigan for the in-person scouting and ongoing sign-stealing investigation will prohibit Jim Harbaugh from being on the sideline until the conclusion of the regular season. He will be allowed to coach during the week. So that is sources. Until we get something that is in effect, that's it. That's all it is, guys. It's sources. That's what Pete Thamel does. He deals in sources. He's never come out yet on anything here that has been right there. And
you know what sources means? I know this trick. I mean, in school, when we would have journal like basic reporting classes, I'd write sources or like a friend's name. He doesn't have sources. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. He's probably making this up off the dome.
Well, who knows? We'll see. Michigan's supposed to play Penn State tomorrow, and supposedly Jim traveled, and we'll be at Happy Valley. Let's see what happens when he gets off the bus.
Yeah, let's just wait. At the end of the day, sources say, and that's what all they've been saying, is sources. So the best thing for us to do is wait, and we'll see what really happens and really comes.
Heavyweights come on after us. They'll bring you up to date. Let's go with our Pick'em segment today. The NFL, of course, playing week number 10. Let's go across the board here. Ryan at 28 wins, 33 losses, 2 ties. Braylon, 3 back-to-back great weeks. Over 500 now at 32, 29, and 2. And I'm at right now, I'm the leader by a few games. 37, 24, and 2. Here we go. Game number 1.
Let's do it.
This one's in Germany. The word on the street is if Bill Belichick doesn't come home with a win, he's not going to have a job anymore. And they will let him go during the bye week. I think that's a doubtful thing. They'll never do that to a historic coach, but that's the word on the street. Colts and Patriots. Patriots are the home team in Germany, and they're getting 2, Braylon. 2 points. Who's going to write the stuff down? You going to write it down?
Yeah, I got it. All right, I write it every week. I was just thinking about it. I'm going Colts. The Colts have been in some good games this year.
They have.
Fought, and you're giving them 2 points.
Colts are giving 2.
Colts are giving 2. Doesn't matter. I'm going with the Colts.
All right, he's going with Indy. Now I'm going to let Parker be Ryan. He has all of Ryan's picks.
Okay.
So
just give me the name.
If I'm Ryan right now, I'm thinking the Patriots. Ryan said the Patriots. The reason being, Bill Belichick's not going to lose this game.
Okay.
It's Bill Belichick.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Ryan's got the Pats. So do I. Give me the Patriots, Braylon.
All right.
Patriots for me. All right, the Texans at the Bengals. We talked about this game. This spread has got to be going down because Jamar Chase might not play. T. Higgins is out. Bengals are home, and they're 6.5-point favorites. Ryan, who do you have?
Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Okay, Joe Burrow and the Bengals for Ryan. I will pick next. 6.5. Wow. Give me Cincy. Give me Cincy. Write me down for Cincy, Bray. That leaves you. You're the last standing survivor here.
Give me the Texans.
Go ahead.
Give me the Texans. I'm going to take the Texans in this one.
Texans have been playing great football. Won a big one last week, obviously on the road. Saints at the Vikings. This is a good game. Vikings are home.
Interesting game.
Vikings are home, and they're a 3-point underdog. 3-point underdog. I'll go first.
Okay.
Give me the Vikings as a home underdog. I think they win this game.
Okay.
You go next.
Give me Josh Dobbs. Give me Saints.
You got the Saints.
I'm taking the Saints.
You got the Saints. Ryan, who do you have?
I have the New Orleans Saints.
You got the Saints too? Look at that.
The New Orleans Saints. Good pick,
in
Ryan.
the Ryan accent. I love it.
Here we go. The next game. This is probably the best game of the day. It's the 49ers at the Jaguars. 49ers coming in losers of 3 straight. Jaguars winners of 5 straight. Jags favored by 3. Excuse me.
Getting 3.
Getting 3 at home. The Jaguars are getting 3 at home. Ryan, who do you have?
Ryan didn't actually send this, but I'll pick for him. I'm going to take the 49ers.
What do you mean he didn't pick this?
I have all of them besides that one.
Okay.
So I'll pick the 49ers for him.
Who's got the 49ers?
You guys are tripping. Jaguars.
Yeah?
3 for a home dog, and it's the Jaguars who won 6 in a row. I get it. They're not going to lose 4 games in a row, and Debo might. I get all that. I'm just, as a betting man now, take the Jaguars.
You're smart, man.
Home dog, baby.
You know I hate betting against a home dog.
Didn't you teach me that?
I did.
Home dog, bro.
I'm breaking my own rule.
Okay.
Give me the Niners.
All righty.
I'm breaking my own freaking rule.
I got you covered, too.
Here we go. The Browns at the Ravens. Actually, it's the Browns against the Browns, right? It's the old Browns against the new Browns. The Ravens are home, and they are favored by 6.5. Braylon. Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
6.5.
I'll take them. I'll take them
to cover.
You see what they do to NFC teams. You see what they do to NFC
Well, this is AFC.
The Ravens and the Falcons?
No, Browns.
Oh, I'm looking at it here. My apologies. Deshaun Watson is
great defense, but no offense.
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm still going.
Nevermore.
I'm still going to take Edgar Allan Poe. Is it?
Nevermore. Quote the Ravens.
Edgar Allan Poe, baby.
Got it. Go ahead, Ryan.
I have the Cleveland Browns.
You got the Clowns?
The Clowns.
Give
yes.
him the Clowns.
All righty.
Wow.
Jim Schwartz.
Can Lamar Jackson beat that defense? Help me out here, Bray.
No.
Can Lamar Jackson
yes,
beat?
He can.
Can
Yes.
Can Lamar Jackson figure out that defense?
They can run the ball now. Yes.
Give me the Ravens.
There it is.
Give me the Ravens. Falcons at the Cardinals. Why did I put this game in there? Falcons at the Cardinals because the game sucked this week. Falcons at the Cardinals. Cardinals are a home underdog, getting 2 points. I'll go first. The return of Kyler Murray. That's why it's only 2 points. Falcons, they don't even know who Bijan Robinson is.
Bum.
Give me the Cardinals to win their second game of the year. I'll take the Cardinals. Give me the Redbirds. Ryan.
Ryan has the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. The
Kyler Murray.
Arizona Cardinals. Go ahead, brother.
I want to pick the Cards. I'm gonna go with the Falcons though.
You really want to take the lead.
I'm going with the Falcons.
You want to take the lead.
I do. I'm either going down in smoke or I'm going down in winter, baby.
Okay, here we go. The final game of the weekend. You know it's the Lions and the Chargers. Chargers are a home underdog, Braylon, getting 3 points against the Honolulu Blue and Silver.
Give me the Chargers. Home dogs.
Ryan?
I got the Detroit Lions here.
Yes, you do.
As I never bet against the
Lions.
Lions.
know you don't.
The Lions, baby.
The Lions, baby. The Lions, baby.
I hate it, bro. I hate it, Bray. You know who I'm taking.
Chargers, baby. Yep. Are you taking Lions?
I'm taking the Chargers.
Okay, there we go.
I'm taking the Chargers. I'm not Debbie Downer, guys. It's a tough road game. I don't like it. The week off. I know everything should be pointing that the Lions should really dominate this game, and I just think I can't get it out of my head that they're still the Lions in my head. So I'm just going to take the Chargers.
You know what?
But I don't care if I lose. I hope I lose.
Well, you know what? If you lose, then the Lions have won the game.
That's what I mean.
So we'll be good.
Yeah, it's all good.
This is true.
All right, we got plenty more coming up here, guys.
Lions can still win, and you win that bet, though.
That's true.
Lions could win and you win the bet.
Yeah, Lions win by 1 or
See?
2.
There you go.
That's what I like. Bam.
That's why we work good together.
Bam.
Back to wrap it up in a second, but first, a message from Fairway Packing.
Yes, for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or as always, check them out online at fairwaypacking.com today.
.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Come in to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for award-winning haircut experience. Also, they do a nice shampoo with the neck massage. Got the shampoo yesterday. That's why the hair is looking all good. Feeling good as well. Also, register to win a trip of your dreams, all expenses paid suite to the 2024 NCAA tournament, which happens to be Elite 8, Sweet 16 are here in Detroit this year.
Woo,
so come on down. It's going to be fun. You got to come into Lady Jane's, though, so you can register. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men is open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked. Hey, I got the injury report fresh off the hot wire here.
Run it down to us.
Hal Vaitai, back injury, no practice, out for Sunday.
Okay.
Next, Levi Onwuzurike. No practice today, doubtful for Sunday. And Donovan People-Jones and Dan Skipper, both limited in practice, both questionable to play on Sunday. That means questionable. That means he's traveling with the team, and I think he'll probably get to be on that sidelines.
He'll definitely play.
Yep,
They'll
so
definitely get him a catch. I mean, don't expect a lot out of him. Basically talking to myself because I picked up in fantasy, but I should have played him this week.
You still could.
Over Ringo.
Oh, it's too late.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I should play him over Ringo. So we'll see.
If you asked me for help, I would have helped you and told you that.
This is true. And I should have.
Hey,
I definitely can use help.
Pistons are home tonight. You going?
I will be there. Philadelphia 76ers. The Pistons play their first game in the new tournament.
That's right. It's the in-season tournament.
There you go.
I have no idea how it works.
So they play games every Friday, I believe, and it's whoever wins the most games in that stretch, they
advances.
Yeah.
I guess.
So
you explain it.
It's a pool. So there's 5 pools. There's a West A, B, and C, and then there's the East A, B, and C. First round is a best of. So you play one or all the teams twice away, twice home, and then whoever has the most wins out of that round goes out to the second round to the knockout round. So it's a 1-game elimination for whoever is in that round. So.
And you heard what Parker said right there. That is the rules and regulations of the in-season tournament. I'm excited. You know, I've never seen Embiid play up close and personal. Never seen him play, so I want to see how that goes.
Hey, I got breaking news from somebody that we could trust.
Okay.
Dan Wetzel from Yahoo Sports. This is it, guys. The Big Ten is suspending Jim Harbaugh for 3 games. He's allowed to coach during the week. Michigan likely to seek a temporary restraining order. Of course, Michigan plays Penn State at noon on Saturday. That is from Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports, friend of the show. We had him on the other day. There it is. 3-game suspension. He is allowed to coach during the week. And we will see what Michigan does. They will fight this, and we'll see how it just shakes out, Bray. What do you got for me now?
Same thing. I just don't agree how the Big Ten was able to put leverage on Tony Petitti and force him to make a ruling, and they suspend Jim Harbaugh during the season. I've never seen a situation like this. It's not even for the Big Ten to rule on. It's definitely for the NCAA. But, hey, this is their ruling. This is what they decided. So this is the course of action we take. So now we know, hey, this is what came out. They didn't look through all the information, and then they decided Jim Harbaugh would not be allowed to stand on the sidelines as it relates to playing against Penn State and Ohio State with a chance to go to the national championship on the line. So this is a big middle finger to the University of Michigan, and at the same time, we will see how it plays out.
Chris Ballas from the Wolverine reporting there is a judge on call today, even though it is a holiday.
Of course.
I guess Veterans Day is celebrated today.
No, it's not Veterans Day.
Veterans Day?
And I meant to
What
say
is
that
today?
what today is all the people that are currently serving. So today is a day to honor all the branches of the government, military, who serve currently. So to all those people, all those individuals in the branches of the government, we appreciate your service, and we appreciate you continuing the fight to make sure that we sleep so well at night. That's what it's about.
Amen, bro.
People that are still serving. So we definitely appreciate your service.
So the judge is on call here, and Michigan will be calling him to see what goes on here. But the Big Ten coming down with a 3-game suspension for Jim Harbaugh. He is allowed to coach during the week. They don't want him coaching these games. We'll see. I can't believe, honestly, that they would do this to their brand, to this brand, at this time, with the 3 biggest games of the year coming up right now, heading in to the championship. The final time, only 4 teams will make a playoff team. I can't believe the Big Ten would do this. They did not do their due diligence. Everything that we saw that they have on Michigan is everything we know.
Yeah.
And it's not enough.
At the end of the day, look, the Big Ten allow outside forces to influence, whether it was, ESPN, whether it was all the journalists, whether it was NCAA who, ran and cowered between their legs talking about it's all good. Now, this is the judgment. I just don't agree with not waiting for due process. And I don't think as an interim, or not an interim, but as a first-year commissioner, I don't think this is how you start the Big Ten, especially considering what's happening next year and the people that are coming to the Big Ten Conference. But you know what? You blew it. Like you
they got egg on their face.
You screwed over the #1 school in the conference, and it's going to come back to haunt you. Don't know when, don't know how, but I know it's coming. So it's got to be. I just know I chose the right side, and I rep Michigan proud.
The Big Ten needs Michigan more than they need the Big Ten.
Yep, and you know what?
That's a fact.
You can succeed whenever you want to. So,
Parker, what do you got?
Is this going to include this week's game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They want it. I think it's effective immediately unless Michigan gets this injunction taken care of.
We'll see. I'm not one for the law, so we'll see how it happens. I know you said they got one on call, so we'll see what that. I don't know what they can do at this point. Maybe you tie it up to a point where you nullify it this week. I think that's what they're hoping to do with the injunction, hoping that the injunction works and they can coach until further notice.
As a player, Bray, this comes down. You've been going through this for over a month now.
Yeah.
This comes down on your coach today. How are you feeling as a player?
Just give me the ball. Just give me the ball and get that out the way.
Penn State is in trouble, folks. Remember I said it was going to be a close game?
Nope, not anymore.
It ain't.
Yeah, it's not going to be anymore. It's going to be a fun game. But
and like you guys say, I use ain't for effect.
You use ain't for effect. And with that, we'll wrap the show up, man. We appreciate you guys tuning in this week. More to come on this next week. More to come today. More to come tomorrow. Tune in to the heavyweights 5 to 7 because I'm pretty sure they'll have more information. They'll have more to talk about. We appreciate you guys.
Bruner and Broder after that.
Bruner and Broder after that, man. We're growing the brand, and we appreciate it. It's because of you, the fan. Woodward Sports Network is going anywhere. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you checking out our clips. And we just appreciate you. For my man JB, for Parker over there, for Maz. Always fun working with you, Maz.
Man, hey, have fun at the Piston game today.
Appreciate that.
Get a win.
Jalen Durham's playing.
All right, stop that 6-game losing streak.
I'll be tuned in. See you guys next week. We appreciate it.
See you guys.